So I had some problems with my AC and it was sounding really loud. It was ruining the previous broadcast. So my previous broadcast, I was trying to go through the replay tracker events and this new iterator. So to summarize, there's a new way to read a source, so a path some file on our file system. If you provide a directory, it will go through each one of the files. So yeah, it will generate one file with everything. So the way that the iterator works is that it reads the source, it keeps track of the data inside the file, and it keeps track of the position within the file that we have been reading. This is not extreme, the files are very small. There might be better ways to achieve this. Right now, we read everything in memory, the byte array. Probably the next version will not read everything into memory, but will use a num streaming and will ask for more data as it needs. But the files are very small. It's like 100Ks per replay, 200Ks maybe. Let's see. Maybe in the future we can make that work like that. So we read everything in memory, 100Ks. Then we may need to decompress this MPQ sector. I call it sector, maybe it's called section or region, I'm not sure what to call it, but sector is for now. We need to keep track of the protocol version because we may need to use an old parser or a new parser. Initially I had a per protocol parser, but turns out that they are almost the same. There's very few difference between them, so in the end I just decided to use this one as the main one, which was my reference point, and try to parse from it. I'm thinking of the future, maybe I would say consider a range where I say if the protocol version is between this or greater than this, attempt to use this protocol. If it doesn't work. We like a best case effort, but because they are so similar, maybe, and because StarCraft does not intend to be releasing newer versions, maybe it will always be compatible from now on. Okay, so the events come in pairs. A pair is a delta, which is the number of loops that have progressed since the last time an event was stored, and then the event itself. So the event can be of many types. In this case, for example, we have the player stats. So this is the minerals, the number of units that have been born, died, and so on. So to make sense of this data, the first time that I used it was that I looked into the data as it is being generated. What I mean by that is that I exported or extracted all the replay data and is try to make sense of the data available and what it means. So this is the event pair. There's the delta, and then there is an event itself. And for all the events, in here I collected one replay and I started looking at each line. Right now it is being wrapped, but you will see that there is a lot of unit borns. At some point there will be a unit died. Something changes, for example, something changed to a larva, or maybe from a larva into something else. It might as well be that this larva dies to become another unit, especially because we see that this is the same unit, the same tag recycle. And then potentially this unit became, let's see what it became, creator tag index. It doesn't quite tell us what. Yeah, it's not extremely clear what happens from one state to the next one, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, it does matter, but we don't have to understand everything the first time. So, what are units? Units are mineral fields, platform geysers. They are the Zelnaga towers. Um, they are beacons for some reason. They are also here. These are all mineral fields. These are yeah. There's many fields: beacons, claim, expand, scout, and so on. Are invisible units for some reason. So the delta is 0 for all this means that we are just starting the game, and we start the game. There are no events that we have generated from a user perspective, or that should be generated from a user perspective. This should just be events that are registered for the initial state of the game, like maybe before even the counter starts. I think it's before even the counter starts. So, for example, in this case, we have my specific player ID has a larva. So it has player ID and has 3 larvae. And they start at the same delta 0, 0, 0. And then the 3 larvae will be 293, 294, and 295. When I started to try to understand what these things mean, I focus on my specific player. I look at the replay and I look at what are the events that have been generated for anything. So I know that one of these larvae will become the first drone. Another one will become the first overlord, and probably the other will be another drone. At least in the opening that I was following here. So what I do is try to see like, all right, so I think one of these 3 must be probably this one will become the first drone, and then yeah, I try to follow this unit tag index. Sometimes this unit will show us if they died, and sometimes they will show us if they were, yeah, the transition states. But I think mostly they look as init and then, or born and then init, or I can't remember. So yeah, there's all the drones that have been created for my user. The first overlord that I have, and then I was playing 2v2, so there's another Protoss player that is playing on my team, and we are playing versus AI. So this is potentially one of the AIs. Again, it gets hatchery, overlord, and so on. And then this is the statistic at that time. It says, for example, in this case, it says delta 1. So notice how this delta is 0, means that anything above has not progressed in the state machine game loop or tracker loop. By the way, this is what I understand so far. It might not be true, but it is what it is. Then there is an increment of 1 game loop. And then there are no increments between these. What this means is that all these events happened at the same loop. So this is normal, I think, for player stats, because every so often we will collect what are the current minerals, the collection rate, and so on. I can't remember how often they are created. I think it's like 11 seconds or something like that. But it will tell me stuff about the economy. It will tell us a lot of stuff, like, yeah, what is in progress, what is being built right now in terms of Vespi and gas. So units that are in progress right now have not been yet released into the game because they all have timers. You can see, for example, here that we have different minerals used. So I imagine that this is including the first unit. For example, we initially have hatcheries, drones, an overlord. I'm not sure if this is true, but this number is pretty high, 1050. Yeah, probably there shouldn't be any Vespian gas. Okay, so this is the first time that we get an event of player stats. And then it says that a unit has changed. This unit has changed to an egg. So this is the first overlord. This is the first drone. Sorry, that's what I meant. We had a larva before, so let's try to follow it up. I went back to the first part of the event, so line 305. And this is saying that this is a larva from control player 1. After that, the type changes from larva into an egg. So this is when I say I want to have a drone. But the drone will be queued and will be released later. It changed into an egg. And then after that, if I try to read this continuing, the next instance of 293 is that a unit type changed to, yeah, so basically we have this event twice between many deltas. So what probably happened here is that this unit tag recycled, this egg became a drone. Let's try to find it. I actually think it should be around here. It should be this one, but let's see if we can make sense of it. So I think when a unit is born, sometimes there is a creator unit tag index, yeah. So it is saying that this this unit, let's see if we can make a regex to follow it better, because I think we can. So anything unit tag index, anything unit tag recycle. Maybe this appears multiple times. So the first time we have the unit born for the larva, then it becomes the egg, and then 337 larva train. Okay, so what does this mean? It says that there's a unit born, there's a new ID called 337,2. It says that a unit which used to be our egg, so we went from larva to egg, and then it went into a drone. So what that means also is that our previous unit, which was a 293,1, is not available anymore, or it has been transitioned into this drone under this, let's call it ID pair, 337 and 2. So if I want to know what I did later with this drone, I could find it using 337. I'm going to remove the this regex 1 second to see if I did anything else with that. I also need to add a comment. Let's see. So this is the unit born, and then it was turned into an egg probably, and then the unit died. Apparently it was killed. It is also possible that when the drone transitions, or when the larva transitions to an egg, it could be that it also dies. So it is possible that this is what is happening for the same unit. We have it was a larva, then the unit dies to become an egg, and then it's possible that after unit type change, it is possible that it transitions in another way. Yeah, so these are the events for this drone. It doesn't seem like it died later. Let's see what else we find again for the other drone. 293. Unit died. So this is the way that I've been trying to make sense of the data, where I see like, so I'm using this drone, I will make it into a hatchery or something like that, and then something happens with it. So for example, this unit tag with another recycle, it is now a probe. So that means that by having a unit tag and an index, this is not related to a player. This is a unit in the game, and the next time that I look at it, it may be another unit. And then as time progresses, we will get different player statistics of how things are progressing. So let's see how a hatchery is made. Let's see if we can find that. So this is the first time that the game is loaded, and there's already a hatchery somehow. But we want to find the next time when we expand. So for example, in this case, at this accumulated delta, the Zerg attempts to expand, and this causes a unit init event. So maybe we can also create a set of all the unit inits and see how user expands. However, I think if a hatchery is cancelled or killed, it might not be accurate to think that this is complete. So let's try to find this. We have a unit tag index of 374. This is the unit done later. This is the first time that we see the hatchery. Before this, and actually this is the only let's make this also include the recycled units. So the first time that we see this, it says that this is a hatchery at 473. And then the hatchery is done much later. And then it's possible that larva is generated from this hatchery. This is just 374 here. This is the creator unit tag index and the tag recycle. So the hatchery now is generating larva. And it will do so over and over. What I was expecting to see is how, oh, look at that, it's a train coin as well. What I wanted to see is how the drone transitioned from a drone into the hatchery. So maybe let's find another hatchery much later in the game, because maybe I missed the spot there. So this is saying that the unit tag index is 421,1. And this is a unit done. I have the impression that after a unit becomes a hatchery, it dies. But it cannot die right away. For example, the drone wants to become a hatchery, it starts, but you can cancel it, and the drones still exist. So it has to be in a transition state somehow. So this unit init 421, comma, and then 1, comma. Unit born. This is a larva already. I have the impression that this unit done is what I want to find. Even though some portion, oh yeah, there's not a comma there. So let's see again. There's a unit init that says a specific tag index and tag recycle. It's becoming a hatchery and the init. And then at some point it is done. And I have the impression that at some point here, the unit dies or something like this. 421, this is the unit born. Yeah, these are all, yeah. So maybe because there is so much data, what we can try to see is let's try to extract events of a specific type. So before I had the unit born. Well, actually, the unit born we don't have it. Let's create the unit born files. So in the previous stream, what I was trying to go over was the speed of using Rayon versus doing it serially. So right now we're using Rayon to do this parallel iteration. So we need a mutex to hold the open file, and then inside of the parallel iteration, we will fight for the mutex lock, and then we will be able to write. Usually I would go for message passing and pass the like use MPSC to do this, but because these are arrays, I do not see the benefit. I think it will be copying data from one process to the other over and over, and I don't see the benefit. But maybe later I can give it a try and see if there are any benefits, or actually maybe what is the overhead of using MPSC. So let's create our new way of writing IPCs, and this is gonna be for unit born. This should be actually here. Let's put it here. Collects all the unit born events. Not collects. Maybe provides. So I'm trying to use GitHub Copilot here as well. So I'm trying to guide it with comments, and then it should tell me this kind of stuff. So now the schema. I need to find a better way to provide this. This is definitely ugly. But yeah, let's see how far we can get. So I have the flat rows for different events. I'm going to, how do we organize this? The stats and the upgrades are part of the same. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit messy. Maybe we should split it into multiple ROIPC type sub or ROIPC subtype, because the tracker events, I mean, this is gonna, yeah, we'll do it later, whatever. So now I should tell me that I want to do the unit done, I guess, unit born, and then we need to create a similar upgrade event flat row, but for the unit born. I'm gonna create this in the end. I'm gonna make this into. I'm going to transform this into its own module and create a file for each one of the flat rows. Maybe it should even be called flat row. Also, I'm not sure if the flat row is the right way to go, or this is just a test anyway. Unit born event flat row is what we're gonna call it. Let's look at the tracker event mods. Unit born. This is what the unit born contains. I'm going to copy this definition, and then I'm going to add Yeah, I'm going to follow the same things that I had been following for the others, or the other flat rows, where I try to enrich it with the replay loop, the replay seconds. And because I want to collect data from every single replay, I need to also make sure they are unique. Maybe this is the only thing I really want, and this can be gathered from joining another table data, because otherwise it's going to be replaced. But I think in Arrow, because this is going to travel through multiple servers in theory, it might make sense to keep all this data. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so we're gonna import a new as well, which is gonna be basically the same thing as an upgrade event, except for the fields that will change slightly. So let's yeah, unit event flat row. It's gonna be unit born event, replay loops. We also need the details for the same thing, and then player ID. Do we have a player ID for this? The upgrade event flat row does have a player ID, but not the unit born. See if it autocomplete. So the unit tag index, yeah, there was tag recycle, tag name, player ID. What else? I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going. Should build an into. No, I can do the into because we need the external replay. So I'm here just trying to let GitHub Copilot take care of everything. What else? The X replay loop and everything like that is already collected, I think, from the previous ones. Yeah, so looks like it's fine. I mean, sometimes it really understands well these concepts. Sometimes not so well. So what I have been doing is I've been using a new flag that I'm adding, which is called write all the arrow IPCs. So this will create a directory and will collect any type of data that I have and write it to this directory. We will interact with it in a little bit if we find time. But first, let's split this because it's very ugly what we're doing here. So let's create this. Not yet. So we create oh, this autocomplete is not so good today. And then we'll move here to mod.rs, right? Yeah, and then let's split for each one of them. So poop mod, poop use. Let's split this file, and then we're gonna need to distance. So let's see what it suggests. Whatever, fine. And then this is the player flat row from line 14 until line 131. Okay, let's paste it here. Then let's do the same thing with this upgrade event flat row. So poop mod. Oops. We'll use this thing. And then we are going to open I think I forgot to copy this to the right place. Where am I? Let's save this as here. Player stats flat row.rs. And then we can open, what did we call it? Open this. And let's go into this definition one from the line 17 until line 58. Let's delete those lines, paste them here. Let's let yeah, this is not very useful. Yeah, let's leave it like that. I wonder if the file is not interesting. Oh, yeah, we also need to copy all these things here. But the event from unit born does not have a player ID, which could be true. It's probably true. But then how do we keep track of the names? I saved it as tracker end arrow player stats flat row. I have done something wrong. Let's see what I did wrong. I think I saved it to the wrong place. So what is the difference between this and the same file? It should be the same, yeah. So let's remove this one from here to the wrong place. And then let's edit this file again. So now we can split for another file that is going to be the unit born. Let's keep some order here. Unit born event flat row. Okay, that's good. And then what do I want to do? Use it. Awesome. Okay. So now let's split this into the .rs. Let's let it generate something for us. It wants to. This is still compiling. All right, unit born event flat row. Okay, so now let's copy this. You know what I'm thinking of it. I'm gonna just copy everything here. So let's fix this comment. For our usage. Okay, so we need the event ID somehow. To get the event ID, sorry, not the event ID, we need the user from this setting here. You don't know what it is because now this is what is the right way to do this? Yeah, let's do it like this. I think it's easier. Yeah, super sounds super ugly. Such a bad comment to make. I should see myself out. Great. Yeah, great event. Yeah, sometimes the completion is very good. I'm not sure anymore if it is language server protocol, or if it is the GitHub Copilot, but whichever of them is doing it, it's good. So let's figure out where are we gonna get this player ID, because it's not. So for example, let's go here. The upgrade event contains a player ID. The unit born event does not contain a player ID. It contains a control player ID. And an upkeep player ID. Why do we have this? I wonder if this is because of command center. Is it true? No, I cannot remember. If having an upgrade on a command center increases the upkeep. Why would we have two different things? Is there an upgrade that allows me to have better? Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess this is because a supply depot can be upgraded and increase the upkeep. Okay. Let's pretend like that is true. I mean, that is a good reason, I guess. So we need to find this unit born event. I guess it would be this one. Can this complete for me? No. Let's not abuse the poor guy. He's probably tired. Poor Copilot. So this is the moment when I realize I am not really streaming or recording anything, and then no, but it seems to be all right. All right, so unit born is not covered. That is true. We have not enabled it yet. Let's go like this one just to make sure. Open the space. Unit born is here, but so this is the event. This is not an upgrade event flat row. This is a unit born flat row. Yeah. And then it says that it cannot find it on 992. Oops, it's not 90. There's just 92. So it says that, where should we put this? They need data and the details are separate files. The tracker, I think I'm gonna remove the tracker events because it is a multi-type, so to speak. And then we can think of how we can make this be, let's remove all these tracker events, game events. Message events, yeah, message events we will leave. So these are separate sectors of the MPQ, the details, and they need data. And then how do we document this? The next events, because this will be part of the tracker events. Our tracker events. So stats upgrades unit born. Stats upgrades unit born. Also, the order is different here. First, I have message events, then details that I need data. I think the message events should be the previous to last. Details should be the second. I guess init is the first one. The details. Can I make this purple? Details. Create details. This is okay. All right. So now init data. What wrote on our IPC file? Okay. The details. This is the stats, right? Maybe we clear it like that, right? It's a create tracker event. Tracker events. And then what do we have? Event. Tracker event. So it's called replay tracker event. Replay tracker event and player stats event. Player stats event, I think is what I'm gonna call it. Now I don't need this because I guess this will be clear enough that it is a tracker event. And then we can do the same thing here. Let's just put this here. Right. Unit one. Create all message events. Maybe. Yeah, it's called message event. Okay, good. And then write all the supported data types. All the supported data types. What row? The supported, all implemented. Lateral types 2. Inside the output directory. Okay, so stats, upgrades, unit points. So let's look at this again. Init data is the first one. Then we had details, stats, details. Init data, details, stats, upgrades, unit born, message events. Message events is not implemented yet, that's okay. And then all. So now in here we have init data, details, styles, blah blah blah, upgrades, and then unit born handle unit born IPC command. Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit repetitive with all these IPC command. If everything is actually IPC command in this directory, is it IPC command? Handle IPC command. it is kind of good to have the IPC because it is under a mutex, and I would like to make it very explicit. But not everything's under mutex. For example, the details is not a mutex. This one is very small structure, so we don't need to. We can just pop it up in memory. But also, shouldn't it just be self that handle right? Could be. We also need to do. Let's see if it auto-completes it. Loop unit born. Also, I don't know what is the right way to do this. It's really ugly to have to go through this. I think we can use what is that crate called? Ether enum or enum ether, and go through all of them. But can I do a dot here? I'm not sure if this makes sense. Actually, let's see how this complains first. So something like that. This looks so ugly. Okay, so the unit born is going to be basically the same as an upgrade, and actually it should be yeah, let's also order this. First init data, then the details, the stats, then upgrades. First init data, then the details, then stats, then upgrades, then the unit born. Yeah, this complete is sometimes so cool. And sometimes I have to guide it a little bit too much, but when it removes all this, that's just beautiful. So it's gonna be called like this. I'll rename it later, doesn't matter. Let's go into the upgrades. So I want to copy from 198 till 232. I wonder if we can make this. If we can make this be more modular to avoid having to. Because the problem here is I need to first open the mutex for the everything here is wrong with the born data. This seems to be, we don't need this anymore. Can also remove this here, and this is not stats data, will be upgrades data. Processing upgrades IPCRI request. Processing. I guess we can instrument it. Can we instrument? Should we instrument this? Because this will be like thousands of files. We can skip those fields too, but need more IPC write request. So we iterate over each one of the files parallelly. We read the details. We get the iterator. We always have to do this math. I wonder if we can. Do I use the tracker loop for anything else? Maybe we can call it instead of tracker loop, we call it adjusted game loop, because there is a ratio between the game loop and the tracker speed and the tracker loop. Yeah. Is there a need for me to do this besides calculation? Let's remove this. Let's put it as adjusted game loop, because since we have not released this yet, then we can return here game loop. let's go into this iterator, and we say that the type of item that we return is still an I64, but instead of the tracker loop, we will return Delta tracker loop divided by F32. Sorry, as F32 divided by tracker speed ratio as I64. When does this finish? Here, and then 2 more parentheses. Like this, right? So read version tracker event. After the loop, that's the game loop. Yeah, I'm not sure. This variable, this is not completely true. This is something that I found a couple of times in a couple of replays, or not. I calculated this in a couple of replays, but this number may not be completely accurate. So how do we document this here? The items total of tracker event and the adjusted king loop. Adjusted game loop is the game loop, adjusted when it's immune is the tracker loop. The tracker loop. Yeah, I like this. So now we don't have to do this anymore. Now we can say here that we also receive the game loop here. We can remove this calculation. And that's it. Oh wait, there's another one here. This also game loop. Actually, we can search for tracker loop. So now one last operation. Can we make this more generic? Can we make a function here that accepts some sort of filter here? That's the problem. How do I send this as a variant and say, hey, depending on what you have, you may have to transform into this. I'm not sure how to do this, so let's leave it like this for now. Where is our open handle details, handle upgrades, handle unit born IPC command? We open this configuration here, and then in here we can say unit born, and then this is unit born flat row. We do a try into arrow and return a usize. So this logic is always the same. Maybe, I guess maybe this could be I'm thinking of a macro maybe, because it is always going to be the same. I get an iterator, I want unit born, I transform into unit born again, and then return the batch, get the usize. So this is the same over and over and over, except for this little variant of unit born, and probability is always the same. But my problem here is that I do not know how to make a function how to send this as a parameter saying, hey, I am only interested in a type of event that is of this that is of unit born, and that it must be then it was generate this, and then I wouldn't need to repeat this over and over and over because it's always the same parameters, always the same. So I'm not sure this should be a returning, maybe an S2 protocol error here. Anyway, let's see. Oh wait, I'm still missing something. It needs to import this on the iterator. What else do we need? Arrow mode that doesn't use the state. Did we use the state before? I wonder if the state was to be able to have a. Okay, 89. Yeah, this one is missing. Well, everything should return okay. Okay, it removes it. Sometimes the comma, sometimes it doesn't remove it. I'm gonna go for a glass of water while this compiles. Okay, so what is going on here? 24 seconds to read all these files. What do we have in our IPCs? Five gigs. Interesting. I thought I would have duplicate data here somewhere. I thought I was creating an extra file by mistake at some point, but it seems to be fine. So I was thinking that the state, we used it. Let's find out how the data looks like first. So the last time I was doing this, I think I had a Jupyter notebook running somehow. Actually, first I should commit this stuff here because it's getting out of hand now. Let's add. Move this into something else, right? And then yeah, I removed tracing from here. I'm gonna put tracing on again and run it and see how much faster it can be if tracing is off, because it took us 24 seconds to collect all of them. Also, this shouldn't be error, this should be an info, but I wanted to show it was being filtered. Maybe there's too much info, too much debug, or I'm not using trace at all actually. So maybe I should, not sure what is the word I'm looking for, but use trace. Alright, it doesn't like something. It says some trace filters directive would enable traces that are disabled statically. I wonder if this is because I am throwing this, which is not a real error. Should be an info. It doesn't look like it makes much difference. Yeah, it actually took the same time, but let's remove this error now and make it an info. Oops. Let's run this again. So how does it know? Does it know that there was an error message? Unless it is, no. I wonder if the tracing subscriber would capture the error, the intention of the call. For the first time that I see an error. So that means that there is still something being called. Error would enable the error level for all targets. The static max level is off. To enable login removes the max level off. So does it mean that this is actually, it's not removing all of the errors? 29 seconds. That's tracing off. I had the impression this was a huge benefit in terms of running performance when I didn't need to debug it. But now I am skeptical. Let's run this again with trace. Wait, not with tracing on. Let's run it with tracing on. 1 second. Why? Oh, you know why? I may have a flag when I am running cargo watch. Yes, this must be the error. So doesn't make sense yet. Let's think. So is cargo run aware of the error flag and saying there is? Yeah, maybe that is what is happening. Yeah, I think it makes sense. So when tracing subscriber runs, probably it inspects the environment variable the first time that it's running, tracing subscribers probably, and then it will say, yeah, you won't have error, but I know that there is a flag that says no error, please, or yeah. So it has really removed every instance of the error or tracing release max level off. Oh, actually, I may not want to have this in release mode, but I may want to have instrument. No, this is not true. So what I'm saying is that if I am debugging locally, maybe this is okay. But if I am releasing, this one is okay. 33 seconds. And I can't remember if I changed anything, so I'm going to, again, leave this here. Let's open arrow mod. Oh, yeah, what I was saying is that I wanted to take a look at the data from Jupyter Hub and see if I can study a little bit of Pola.rs again. So how did I do this last time? How was I doing this again? I think, do I have this environment now? So where did I have an environment with Pola.rs on? It must be in Pola.rs. Weird. I have a Plotly Express here. Plotly Express and Python Plotly. What happens if I do this? Would it find something? New notebook. So I want to have this kernel. SPL. Okay, no more joining. Alright, let's try again. So exit here. Let's version of Pola.rs do I have here? It's 19.2 Pola.rs. the 2, the 3. Okay, so let's see if we remember a couple of things what to do here. What's this error here? And a module name, this. The module NB Classic. What is this? NB Classic. Provides backwards compatible Jupyter Notebook as server extension. Okay, so you want NB Classic and you want no module Jupyter server YDoc. Yes. He wants to have Carol does not exist. I'm not sure about that error there yet. But the other one, the other thing you wanted was what was the name of it? NB what? Extensions function was not found in the package notebook. Shim took something to import. Adding extension NB Classic. Jupyter server file ID. A Jupyter function wasn't found in Jupyter LSP. Instead, a Jupyter server extension paths function was found and will be used for now. So this is Jupyter LSP. Error adding extension. The module Jupyter server file ID could not be found. So we want this and then be classic. Yeah, so MVM, we should be okay for this. And let's serve again. Let's see what was the error. There's still some. It says read migration plan to notebook 7. Jupyter server extension points function was not found. Jupyter server extension function was not found in Jupyter LSP. How do I install these things? Function names will be deprecated in the future. Well, let's see how far we can get. So this again, and now we can run it. Cool. Now, see my history here. Reload notebooks from disk. Now from checkpoints. No file. Do I have create checkpoint, insert table below, open in. Let's see in Finder if I have the previous version of it. Downloads, maybe documents. Nope. Okay, well, let's start from 0 again. From import Pola.rs. I'm not sure what this does. It's already trusted. So Pola.rs strong IPC. Oops. So, where's an example of this? PC, and then our files were located in the protocol IPCs. And it was called uniform. Pola.rs, of course, I called it a PL. So PL, that is kind of IPC. Yeah, that shape. This maybe? No. What is the F then? Round lazy frame. This is the optimized version. Show graph. Scan IPC. Collect. Okay. Yeah, what will be useful for me is that the unit. So we have the broad link. Okay, let's see if we can find distincts to find all the different guys. Distinct. Fine. We can do this with group by anyway. So, group by A. Yeah, we can try to do something like this. And then we can see what is the most common unit in our games. If I had to guess, what is the most common unit in a game? I think the minerals are born once and are in every game. The drones, the circlings, I'm not sure really. What is the most common unit in a game? Let's call this unit game. So what does it say? It says LDF. Where's an LDF somewhere? Where is an LD here? So DF that group by column not found error. How do I get the columns? No attributes. Is it that a schema maybe? It's not callable. Okay. Callable? I don't know. Unit type name. That's what I wanted. I thought that. So what did I do different? What didn't it like here? Oh, yeah, of course. This is not an alias. Duplicate error. So what is it doing exactly? It says group by one column and call aggregation to compute the grouped sum of another column. Okay, so should we group it by something? I don't think so. I think we can just sum them all together. I wonder if the aggregation would take care of it already. df. So let's see another example. Maintain order. Group by multiple columns by passing a list. No, I think I know what's going on. I need to provide something to do with the do this? I don't think so. Can I? And then we need to order by. So what I'm trying to do here is saying, just count the number of instances. Parasitic bomb. Oh, I needed to add another thing to here to make it not be so small. A dog. Cool. So, Pola.rs change string. Um, characters. So, a number of cars. Is it pronounced chars or cars? I never know. So can we do this? Yo, that. Let's put 64. Module Pola.rs has no attribute. pl.config with uppercase C. Okay, we get this again. We get the schema, and it still is very small. Oh no, never mind, the schema is here. And then this one says, yeah, order by. So this again. This is still very small. Set table with cars. Set table with cars. White polars or maybe the pie chart limits the number of rows. No, not the number of rows. I want to have the full width of columns. There are more settings related to table width in that section. Okay, maybe this one. format the string. Okay. There we go, much better. Warfield-based platform, spawn market player, supply depot, mineral field. Okay, so let's let's find out how do we order by this, which apparently is called count. Order by, I don't know if this is possible. Lazy frame has no object order by. Sort by maybe. It doesn't have a sort by. Maybe this is an attribute of collect. Invalid syntax. Order by. Okay. Lazy frame order by. Sort by. Okay, so it's called sort and it's a lazy frame. So sort A and A is the name of a column. So we could just say sort count. And then probably descending equals true or something like that. What is it called? Descending equals true. So invisible target dummy is the most frequent. What is an invisible target dummy? I think we should at some point try to put them in a map because we would have the XY coordinates. I can do it for the next one. Okay, so let's find the larvas. Let's try to put this in a chart. How many files did I have again? 1 second, I haven't pushed anything. What did I change here? Map rows. Adding uniform. Okay, so can we put them in a chart? I completely forgot how to do this. Py plot. What's it called? Pola.rs plot. Plotly. Right, plotly express something. The example posted here is simpler. These are lines. I think bars is a good starting point. So let's put it here. Oops, that's not what I want. All right, we have plotly express. Then we want to add this as a bar. I want to remove those invisible target dummies because well, I don't know. Let's remove them later. First, let's put them here. So we're going to store this as most frequent units or unit frequency actually. Unit frequency equals to this. And then unit frequency the length This is what happens when you start doing too much JavaScript. You forget if it is .length or length or length of this crap, maybe like this. Amazing. I think if I just type unit frequency, probably will tell me that, yeah, the shape. So 553 different units. This destructible signs warning. I can't remember. I can't remember this thing. Amon host body. Archangel Cope assault. Oh, this is from co-op missions, where it has all these weird units and whatever. So I'm going to remove anything that is only one and see. Probably, I wonder if we can do this here. Filter. Yellow. More than one. Let's put this. Let's see how do we organize this better. Something like this. Okay. Collect. Sort. What happens here? Group by. Unexpected indent. All right, what about now? It doesn't like it. Oh my god. How do I make this multi-line? This is super ugly otherwise. Maybe it's because I have to do a tab. It doesn't like it either. Python multi-line. How to verify your code? Oh, verify Jupyter extension. All right, let's. And then what do I do? Belongs the command. Extensions enabled. Pip install YAPF. Ugly stuff. Just want to get a command to put. Let's see. Examples. Code formatting. I wonder if I have that here. Code. Unbelievable. Whatever. Let's put it in a single line. Nope. Let's put it here. Okay, so we removed anything that is, but let's see, we have tank thing healing zone, sunken colony, destructible rocks to soil caster forest. Let's make this more than 10. Slay and you know what, let's put this more than 100 because I think there's too many little craters and stuff that would appear everywhere. Spore crawler, only 119. This is because of, again, this is because of the co-ops. Creep tumor used. Yes, this is co-ops, so yeah, let's leave it like that for now. And then, oh yeah, we were need to create a bar. So names. So instead of df, we called it unit frequency. The name is unit type name and the count. Is it true? No, this is unit frequency. And unit frequency. And then it says that each row of data frame is presented as a rectangular mark. This is not pandas, that is true. You may see some other options once you see the idea of a workaround. This is a data frame. This is I think I'm using a, maybe it's not a data. Making the switch to Pola.rs from pandas. From my research, your will work, but it's considered anti-pattern in Pola.rs. df.select to series. df.select to series. Ah, cool. I have the impression I'm gonna get, yeah, of course. I cannot see the full story until I get this. This is silly. Can't believe everything is so blocked. But it seems that what I want to do is do that select to series. Unbelievable. So dot select fields. And the same thing here. All I need to have pl.call, maybe. Go figure. Non-type has no attribute d-type. Yeah, let's see if we can put that select that call. I don't like it either. Should try a different implementation if available. For example, data frame to pandas. I don't want to convert to pandas. Get column 0 to chunks. Let's see what this returns. I need to move this below. So this is okay. Ah, the count. It doesn't like the count. No, the count is fine as well. Damn it. So what doesn't it like? X is the name. Yeah. And then Y is the frequency. FBX. looks beautiful. Scattered line pork. Don't understand what that means. This one looks beautiful too. Oh, so am I looking at polar as in a circular thing and not? Yeah, I'm looking at polar as a single. That's not what I want. I want to find something with polars. Where is polar? So polars, beautifully, lovely. Can I get a cached version of this? I don't want to have to log into something. This is silly. Of course, nothing shows up. Amazing. And everything's blocked. Maybe. So read parquet, scan parquet, collect. Oh, this is beautiful. Some project cases have to do this. So what I want to do is print or draw this somehow. Huh, what is this? Particle filter. I thought I had something working before. This should be much more simpler than plot graphs. No. Unbelievable. Comparison. Understanding capabilities of polars. Seaborne polars are package allowing to use Plotly express arguments in Python. Support for PyArrow. How to plot graphs. Unbelievable, everything is behind an add form. Let's see this one again. So what is the part? In theory, this is a data frame. And in theory, it should be as easy as this. So we called it unit frequency. X is unit type name, and it was count. And it was as simple. I have no idea what I was doing before. Amazing. And now we can show it. And nothing shows up. Unit type name and count. Why does nothing show up? Unit frequency. Do I have a typo somewhere? I thought I saw something like this before, and then what was it that I did to be able to get it to show? Let's go to the terminal. Let's see if there are any errors. pdx.bar unit frequency. Did it lose track of this maybe? Console. There's no error. Let's stop this 1 second. Let's just start again. So yes, go back here. We do the read schema. I wonder if my machine is doing something. Tracker miner. What? No, that's not interesting. It doesn't look like it is doing anything. Use Control-C to stop the server and shut down all kernels. It seems that frozen modules are being used, which may make the debugger miss breakpoints. Please use xfrozen to Python to disable frozen modules. Kernel started. Connecting. I wonder how I can inspect this page. Let's save this first. Download. Save notebook. I'm going to try to refresh the whole page and see if can I run all sales? Oh, there it is. Okay. I have no idea why. It works now. I'm gonna leave this here. Actually, I don't know if this is visible in the stream, but just realized I have not been sharing Jupyter. Amazing. Wow. Also, I've been talking along all this time, pointing at the wrong screen. Amazing. I'm going to have to download this and remove all that stuff. Okay, so anyway, we import Pola.rs. We scan this file, which is the unit born. We print the schema, which contains the unit born. This is so interesting, but for now we need the unit type name. And then we get the unit frequency. And the unit frequency Actually, why isn't my Jupyter notebook not showing up here? I guess I configured something wrong with my screen capture. What a fail. Well, maybe next time I'll pay more attention. What can I say? All right. All right, buddy. Let's give it a try again. So where were we? Let's go back to this is the take 3. See if maybe this time it works. So we created the unit.born.ipc. We import Pola.rs. We change the tab width to have a little bit more information. We scan the file that we just generated with all the unit borns. We inspect the schema. Show us that we have something that is an invisible target dummy, which is very big. Can I format this from here? Let's try to purify this somehow. Now settings. Jupyter Hub Profile. What's the name of the flag thing? Is control extension. Going back to the terminal 1 second. And now here, where is my terminal? Number server error. Yeah. Yeah, leave page is fine. And now we can try again. So let's run everything. I don't know how to, what is the shortcut to running everything? Okay, so can I purify this somehow? Settings, theme, language, text editor, indentation. I have no idea how to do this. But anyway, let's go one step at a time. So we want to group. Let's show the previous output first. So the output looks like this. Initially, we have a unit type of light mineral field or rich mineral field or whatever. There's a position in which is initialized. We don't care about this for now. And then yeah, so what we wanted to do is find the most frequent unit, the unit that exists the most in all our replays, and I was trying to find or guess what it would be, but I was completely wrong. So unit type name, we say, hey, let's find all the unit type names. For example, the target dummy, there's larva, broodling, drones, and so on. And then we're going to aggregate it. We're going to say aggregate by this this column. Then we are going to add together every single row, and it's going to be called count in this case. I also want to filter that we need to have more than 100 times this specific unit, because there are many that are just very scattered, many were for co-ops. We're going to collect this data, and we're also going to sort by count descending. So this will give us what is the most frequent one. I'm going to remove this specific one because yeah, it's too many. I think we can do this in the filter. Oh, I have an idea. I think I would be able to do this, get away with the split like this. It's very ugly, but it is what it is. This is so ugly, but I need to find a way to purify this. So we're going to filter by this being more than that, but also more than 100. Actually, maybe we can make it 1,000. Let's make it first, and then and, which I think it is this character and not double and, but let's see. pl.call of unit type name. It needs to be different than invisible target dummy. Yeah, let's try with the quoting. Let's see like this. Does it throw any error? It doesn't like it. It says that invalid syntax. Maybe it is like this. All right, so it seems that it finds it better, and now we can say no, we don't care about this for now. I think this was initially when I started to troubleshoot. We can now try to plot this again. It says that the larva is 1.5 million. Then there are 754,000 broodlings, 638,000 drones. Broodling is scored. I wonder if these are this must be when actually I don't know which one it is which. One should be Broodlord, and the other one should be when hatchery dies or when a unit dies and it releases the broodlings. Then 456 Zerglings, a lot of SCVs, bros. So let's see. These destructible rocks, we don't care. Tentacle, attachment, Reaper. These are very, very low. So for example, let's change this a little bit. Let's say we want to have units that appear more than 1,000 times. And then we want to draw them. So Sentry, Banshee, Cyclone, Biomass Pickup, Purifier, Bespin Geyser. I wonder if this is the violet one. Unbuildable Bricks, Disruptor, Tempest, Thor. Beacon. Let's remove all the beacons because I have no idea what a beacon is. Beacon idle, beacon custom, changeling, coin interceptors, lab mineral fields. Let's remove all the minerals, all the geysers, and all the beacon. So I do not remember if we can do like or contains. Let's see. Expression string contains. I don't know how expensive this is. Check if a string contains a substring that matches a regex. See, also starts with, I think this is a much cheaper version. Because this is a substring and the other one would be something magical that could be very expensive to run. So let's do that. Let's do our column that starts with, and let's filter out some of them. So we can say I think maybe I can do this here. I don't know. Actually, that's it. Cry. No, there's no error right now. pl.call unit type name that starts with. So we need to negate this. Maybe like this. It does not start with beacon. Invalid syntax. Not. How to negate? Negate is not underscore. Negate a Boolean expression. That's ugly. Negate. It's like this. Wow, I never expected that to be like that. Okay. Stir. Oh, okay, cool. So it does not start with that. We don't want it to start with which one was it? With actually beacons are still here. Oh yeah, I have not cleaned them yet. We don't want them to be geyser. So ends with geyser. We don't want it to start with mineral or rich mineral. I think it's love mineral field, rich mineral field. Love mineral field or rich mineral field or minerals field. So the three of them, yeah. It's either that or the regex, but I think it's much easier, well, much cheaper. Lab mineral field, rich mineral field, and also there was a mineral field. And then let's draw them and see what happens. Okay, so the most common one is the larva. So we have 1.5 million larvas and the broodling. They're so close. This is oddly close. I wonder if one is. Yeah, the structured diet is too close to it. The broodling escort and the broodling. That's not so close. I thought this was the drone. Yeah, okay. Circling a CVS probe mineral field. Why is mineral field here and left mineral field here? I guess my search is not working. This should start with. And then we can show this again. Viper, Infestor, Force Field, Changeling, Medivac, Changeling, Zerling, Phoenix, Unbuildable Plates, Auto Turret. Lots of Bailings. Okay, I'm going to take a little break, and then I think I wanna create a pie chart with this, and only include yeah, maybe the first 10 or something like that. So, what I was thinking of doing is seeing the openings, or how do I say this? Maybe I just want to see the drones. I want to see how the drones. Do I want to see the number of drones or the creation of drones through time? So what I expect to see is that the first day that I was trying to play StarCraft when I didn't know how to move the units or even create them, I would go into the helping screen and maybe get a click on select, click on build, click on drone. Um, Maybe as time goes by, I start creating more and more and more drones. So how do we do this? We need to have something. We need to have something else here. First, let's only look at drones. Wait, let's save this. Maybe I want to save this. I want to save this as because I also want to push this to this repo, and other people can start if they use it for Arrow. Maybe they can share more data science stuff. So instead of unit frequency, this is going to be called drone birth. Can drones appear in the same second? Probably. So let's put first here. The reason why I was asking that is if I need to add them or not. So I can remove here, but I also need to include the time. So let's look at the schema. The schema contains a replay loop. So what do I want to do? I want to get a replay loop, but this replay loop does not make much sense. We should put it in buckets. Maybe later we can make it in buckets. Okay, so we get the replay loops. We have to group by both of them. Group by comma. I wonder if this has to be something like this. What is this? Okay, it was thinking. Drone birth. Drone. So, at interesting. So I think this makes sense. We're saying that since I play mostly Zerg, at time 0 there are this many drones, or not as many drones, but across all of them added together. Then by the replay loop for 100, there are 990 more drones that I have created. But I no longer need this at the end. I have this variable here, but I'm going to use, I think I have the second somewhere. So ext replace seconds. Let's see if it is a little bit more understandable. Ext replace seconds. And then I also need to find, yeah, so these are the seconds. This is not all, is it? No, this is not ordered. So at different times I have different amount of drones, but maybe I could say something like filter, no, not filter. I think I want to group by also a transformation of the date. So we need to get this date time. Actually, yeah, we need the date time, and we also need the player name, because I only want to include my player. Otherwise, I would see how somebody else is progressing. And then let's add here that also pl.call. Now this is a little bit more heavy to my CPU, right? It seems like I don't know if this is memory or CPU actually. I will look into that a little bit later. So this is 1 hour. This may not be so heavy on, is it maybe in CPU? I don't know if it is heavy on CPU or what. Let's continue. So we also want to see that the player name is me, which is this thing. And then we want to group by again. We no longer want to sort because we don't care anymore about this. I didn't find my user. Detail replay player name. Let's remove this then. I don't know if people let me do this without the double quotes, but I didn't see this. I have this like this, of course. Right, because I want to find a way to uniquely identify a user. This is interesting. It shows the these characters well here in the terminal. Of course, it looks a little bit broken. I play a lot with this guy apparently. Lunatic. All right, start this here, and pl.call what's equals to this guy. So now we can say here that the player name is my user, and I will only get data for my user. And then we need to find a way to transform date. Let's see what that runs. Date. Python function in Pola.rs date. We could do it by month. So we generate 1 bar per month or 1 line per month. date expression int month. Pola.rs.date. Create a Pola literal expression of type date. Date time unit. Base type is nested. Date. How do we get this expression? That date, that month. Group by rolling. What is this? Creates rolling groups based on a time. Different from group dynamic, the wins are now determined by the individual values and are not of constant intervals. One month. Rolling group by. I have no idea what this means. Combine them. Suffix with saturating. Is there an example? So we have these dates. We add some values. Some A. Index period 2 days. So it is saying that creating 2 days, it will generate summary, min, and max. So in some we have, in some we just have extra characters. So then the minimum is 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 8. With columns dt, PL date time that's sorted. So this means for each one of these days we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values. So this day at this hour it's this. This is the maximum for this time frame. So I guess it has to calculate some sort of this is prediction of like a linear progression. It cannot be it cannot be an average. It's gotta be like a linear thingy. The let's see, this 2 does not exist in the this does exist in the input. So it creates buckets already. Maybe we can do it per month. So this can help us see the time of the replay and roll index dt strp time pl.date time set sorted. Okay, so let's see how far we can get. We say the drone birth group by this. So now at this point we have the drone, which we don't care about anymore here. We have the time in seconds where this event happened, the time of the replay, the player, and the number of the number of events that drones were created. So we have a collect here. Fine, it doesn't want to let me do that there. Let's add a dot group by The group by would be over this daytime. We would say that this is in a period of 1 month. Is it month or is it MO? One MO. Okay, so it's a minute. And then I'm missing something. We need to have the aggregation here. The aggregation would be we need buckets, but let's first do something like in the second minute, for example, something like that. PL.sum. No, I don't need a sum. I need an average. Or I need a sum. Maybe I need a sum. Let's try both. Okay, so the goal was to say in time or through time as my replays go by, am I creating more drones or less drones? For example, in the second minute. So we can add, actually I want to put the, does this even work right now? I should install Grafana. $10 gigs. Okay, it doesn't like something. It says that rolling group by has no attribute sort. Oh yeah, we need to collect it. Probably. And actually, I don't care about this sort. Well, yeah, I do care about the sort because now I need to see it by time. And we are going to make one change here where we say that field.call. Let's say that our replace seconds. We're going to say that this replace seconds has to be more than 60 seconds and less than what? 120 seconds. Not sure this makes sense. Maybe this collect I can remove it and put another group by here. What does it say? It says that a rolling group by has no attribute rolling. Is it? It's not part of lazy frame, maybe? Manipulation selection. Lazy frame group by rolling. Lazy frame group by rolling. An example. Lazy frame. DF that group by rolling. So do I need to put this here? Or can I not do multiple of this? Maybe this needs to be put there instead of here. Because I'm thinking of yeah, I think I'm not thinking of this in SQL terms or CTEs. I'm thinking of this as magic. So group by rolling, can I add more columns there? Aggregation over this. Period offset closed by check sorted. Let's see the example again. Here it says aggregation receives an array which contains the sum of a group by rolling index column. Can index column cannot be an array, right? It cannot be an array. Wait. Maybe lazy group by has no attribute. Lazy group by has no attribute. So lazy group by is what is returned here. And then there is a collect at the end. We're missing this aggregation here as well. Which makes sense. It is saying for buckets, what do you want to see from these buckets? Invalid syntax to dots. Yeah, it's still saying, what do you want to do with this data? So we can say that with aggregation so we have this user drones, the number of seconds, and what I want to do is say that the sum is it called pl.sum or pl.sum. We want to sum the count. Do we still have count here somewhere? Where did we go? Yeah, count is still count. Is it alias? Let's call that alias new drone or one drone count. Actually, maybe I'm interested in seeing in my first 2 minutes. What else am I missing? So this probably doesn't work because does it even exist there? Group by rolling is not explicitly sorted. So maybe it wants to see the sort first and then the collect. Oh, actually it doesn't like to be sorted? what's the error message again? It's not explicitly sorted. If your data is already sorted, set the sorted flag with set sorted. If your data is not sorted, sort the expression service column first. Interesting. So when it was done here, let's remove these things. When the set sorted, okay, so we need to sort it first. Can I sort it before the group by? Or is my data set sort by? Lazy frame has no attribute sort. We do a sort by. Set sorted with columns. PL lazy frame. Maybe I can create actually the data, because no, the data I am not reading by time. Maybe I should read by time to make life easier. How easy would that be? Rust. No, because the user may decide to rename or copy or transfer files. So that is not true. Yeah, it is not true. We may not want to rely on the file name date. We need to sort them somehow. So what if we create our own sorted version of this? Maybe, I don't know if this is too ugly. Maybe the pattern is that we massage fields, store them in files, and read them later. Okay, let's see. So, drone birth is equals to df dot select. So we select these fields dot sort by the replay detail daytime. Yeah, that's the only field that I can trust. Well, somehow. So ordered it's ordered is equals to that, and then we can say that. I wonder if this can work. Lazy doesn't have one of those, sure, so we collect it. Data frame has no attribute sort by. what's it called? Sort or order by. Okay, so now what is it saying? It's saying argument in operation is not explicitly sorted. Sort. I need to call somehow this set sorted with columns. So now it is sorted, and I can say df.select. Maybe I can create another one where I say detail date sorted is equals to pl.lazyFrame with columns. Every one of these columns. So how did you call this? pl.call. Something like this. I don't know if this would work. Let's put this at the start actually. Let's remove this. Close this, close this. This is the end of the of this one here. Set sorted. What does it say? Data frame constructor call with unsupported type data frame. Data frame constructor call with unsupported type data frame. So maybe I don't need to do this. Only say df.select and remove this with columns. Of course, you have to be here. Argument in operation group by rolling is not explicitly sorted. But I thought I said that it was sorted here with columns. Index column. I know why. This has to, no, actually this is okay. Filter group by rolling. Next replay detail daytime. Does it matter? Does the order matter? It matters. Except in the group I did that usually. Or always, I don't know. Okay, what are we doing? We're saying the detail date ordered, which is our lazy frame there, should be already set sorted. This is the difference. I wasn't using data frame. Was I using data? I don't know. sorted. Check sorted. That's another option. Column used to group used in the time window, often of type date, time. This column must be sorted in ascending order. Or if by specified, then it must be sorted in ascending order within each group. In case of a rolling group, it's by indices, blah blah blah. All right, let's check sorted for equals false in this case because we know that it's sorted. Doing so incorrectly will lead to incorrect output. Well, we will figure it out. Group by this equals false. And it says group by got an incorrect argument, check sorted. This is a group by because of course I am interested. Why am I grouping this here? I think I got already on the wrong foot here. First, I should filter. I should filter here because we are already selecting this. And we're already collecting here. Yeah, this is a waste of resources. Too many of them should be there. It's duplicated. Argument in operation is not explicitly sorted. Because of this group by probably. Drone bird. So we select these columns, we collect them, we sort by this. We say that this is sorted. We also filter. Probably this filter should be here. Filter. So we select, we filter, we collect, we sort by datetime. At this point, we would have every single drone instance in here without aggregation. Then what? Column not found error. So which column did you find? Count. Now, this is true. Count does not exist anymore. So now we want to count. Now we need to aggregate. PL.count probably. Cannot advance by -1 month. If you are trying to get the last day of each month, you may want to try DT at month end or append saturating to your duration string. 2022-329. What is special about this? That this is trying to get to February 29, probably 2022. Would it be possible that it's like this? Let's try it 1 year because I just want to test that one. Data frame has no attribute collect. That is silly. That is actually a bug. If that was the case, that it tried to get to years 2024. Yeah, so 2022 cannot be one. That is interesting. We can create a merge request for that later. 1 week. We got through the same error. Okay. So this has been already collected, I think. And now we have that at 2021-02-14. This is probably misleading. It sounds like actually this is sequential. This is not what I want. pl.count. I need to do actually the what do I need to do here? Count would tell me the number of rows. And then this would say in less than 120 seconds. Actually, this is also not, this is repeating the same value. That's sum. This shouldn't work. Doesn't know what's sum. We need to count the number of rows. No, but this is not the right thing. Let's draw this 1 second. From birth, 16,000 records. And here we want to have this daytime. And count is going to be born from count. This is not true. It's the behavior of data and properties in the future version will be deprecated. Produced by Plotly. No, so this is wrong. Now I think I have to learn a little bit of Pola.rs before I can do this, to be able to understand why something is increasing. So unit type name, we know that it's drone. We don't need to have this anymore. Or the player name, because we filter by it. We want to have the seconds. This is, if this is what I expect, this will be impossible. Because at the second one, we would have at least 10 drones. I think I'm missing an aggregation here. I'm not sure where to put this aggregation, because I thought in here I would have this aggregation as well. This would be the aggregation by Daytime of the replay. By then I would have every field where is the seconds and the number of drones, the number of unit born. Oh, this is weird. This should be actually count should be the same actually, but it's not telling me exactly that. Sort, set sorted, replace seconds. So what I would expect here is that I actually do not care about this column. I only care about it is already less than 120. So when I arrive to this position here, when we are in this moment, we have for a specific time, so for one specific replay, we have ext replace seconds. We have many times this. We aggregate it. Aggregate EL from born count. Then we can collect it, and we have a EL.call. I'm not sure if this makes sense. Yeah, maybe I'm already a bit burned out. Group by should this group by be here? No, I think this group by must be after the filter. No, doesn't make sense actually. No, I think I'm gonna call it because yeah, I cannot compare to it anymore. All right, another day we will continue with more graphs or whatever. Bye.